strict construction and liberal construction. First, we will compare strict construction with liberal construction. Then we will see the theory portion. In strict construction, our main focus is on the exact words, and we will consider only the literal meaning of the words. Other meanings will not be considered. If a word is having more than one meaning, then other meanings will not be considered, and only the literal meaning will be considered. The main focus in liberal construction is to fulfill the purpose of the statute. Any meaning which fulfills the purpose of the statute will be considered, even though that meaning is not the literal meaning. Suppose a word is having more than one meaning, meaning 1, meaning 2, meaning 3, and meaning 3 fulfills the purpose of the statute. Other meanings does not fulfill the purpose of the statute, then meaning 3 will be considered, even though it is not the literal meaning. If any word which is not the possible meaning of the word and that word fulfills the purpose, then that word will not be considered because it is not under the widest meaning possible. In strict construction, the strict construction is used mainly in penal statutes which impose penalties like IPC, and taxing statutes which impose taxes like Income Tax Act. The liberal construction is used mainly in remedial statutes, beneficial statutes, and welfare statutes, where the main focus is to provide benefits to a particular section of a society. In strict construction, the main focus is that no innocent person should be punished. Suppose this person fires gun towards this person and he kills him, then we have to see whether all the conditions of the penal statute are fulfilled or not. Suppose this person fires the gun in self-defense, then he will not be guilty. We will see the exact wordings. If all the conditions are fulfilled, then he will be punished, but if all the conditions are not fulfilled, then he will not be punished. We will see everything, his act, his intention, whether he is doing it in self-defense, everything will be seen. In liberal construction, the main focus is to provide benefit to the beneficiary. Suppose this girl is working in the company of this person and she is pregnant and she wants benefits under Maternity Benefit Act, then we will see whether she comes under the category of beneficiary under Maternity Benefit Act, and if she fulfills any condition, then she will be given the benefits. The main focus is to provide benefit to the beneficiary. Now we will see first strict construction. Strict construction is also known as narrow construction or restrictive construction. Its meaning, it means to look only at the literal meaning of the words. It restricts the interpretation only to the exact wording of the law. Exact meaning is given to the language of a provision without considering other reasonable implication. It is the literal interpretation of a statute. Provision is interpreted narrowly. Here we only see the exact words. We don't see any other thing. Only the exact words and their literal meaning. No other meaning is seen. No other thing is seen. Now we will see liberal construction. It is also known as beneficial construction, broad construction, wide construction, benevolent construction, loose construction. Its meaning, it means that the interpretation should be made liberally. It involves giving the widest meaning possible to the statutes with the intention to advance the purpose and object of the statute. Interpretation should be done in accordance with the purpose or object of the statute so that it accomplishes the purpose of the statute. The intent of the makers and spirit of the law is examined and taken into effect. Only when the language of the statute gives rise to some ambiguity as to its meaning, then only the rule of liberal construction should be applied, and the meaning which accomplishes the purpose and or object of a statute should be considered. We use liberal construction only in case of ambiguity, that is, if more than one meaning is possible, then only we will use liberal construction. If there is only one meaning possible, then we will not use liberal construction. Which construction to use? It depends on the nature of the statute and also on the situation to which it has to be applied to. The construction which gives the maximum benefit to the person who is wronged, the victim, and also uphold the legislative intent while doing so should be used. General rule of using strict construction and liberal construction. For strict construction, Statutes which impose penalties, punishments, liabilities, burdens must be strictly construed. Like in taxing and fiscal statutes, the person has to pay tax, which is a financial burden. The penal statutes create offense and provide punishment for it. So, for these types of statutes, strict construction is used. The reason for it is when the law seeks to impose penalty or punishment or liability on the person for the act done by him, it must be shown that he clearly fell within the ambit of the section that creates the charge or offense. This is done to save an innocent individual from action. Liberal construction. Statutes meant to benefit a particular class of the society must be liberally construed, like Maternity Benefit Act, Provident Fund Act. The reason for it is beneficial law needs to be so construed so as to extend the intended benefit rather than withdrawing it, unless the person is clearly disqualified. If the person is clearly disqualified, then we will not use liberal construction. So this was your strict and liberal construction.